Going on Facebook, coming to you live today on this Good Sunday. Um, Today we were going to be doing some stuff with one of the businesses that's going to be partnering with me for World Financial Group, but I decided to do something just a little bit different, just because I got some news. I tell you, boy, you know not what a day may bring. Part of the scripture, I guess, part of it anyway, but you think about all these things after you find out some news, and have you thinking about what's going to happen with your life and your family and everyone else. But I go to the doctor, and you thinking it's a normal checkup, or the things that you don't feel good about, and you find out, hey, I think you just black out when you hear the word carcinoma, cancer, or anything like that. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, possible cancer. You know what? I didn't know how to take that. I think I think that whole conversation was a blur when I talked to this doctor. But it brought me back to what I teach when I'm talking to you guys online about your family and about getting yourself prepared and people not being ready. And I just started writing a bunch of questions that I have to cover for myself, but also that other people may be going through. So I wrote some questions out for you guys. I'm outside right now because sometimes you just got to get out and about. Your mind takes you all different kind of places when you hear good and bad news about your life and your health. But I had to just kind of share these questions that I have to cover for myself that may also be affecting someone else. And maybe it can help, maybe not. But some of the stuff I wrote down when I got this news from the doctor, and I'll flip it around so you guys can see it, was pretty much like a checklist. Because when you hear you sick, or could be possibly sick, wind blowing, sorry you guys, you hear you could possibly be sick, you start thinking, man, what have I not covered? What could possibly go wrong? So I thought about, man, do I have enough life insurance? And you sit back and you're like, okay, I want to make sure the house is paid off. I want to make sure the kids are going to go to school. Did I have enough? I also looked at, is my will and I live in trust in order to transfer my assets? So I have a house, I have cars, I have these different things, bank accounts. Is that set up the proper way? I looked at also, is my healthcare advance directive and medical power of attorney completed the way I need it to be in case Jeremy, my husband, had to make any decisions? I need to make sure that stuff is done. What care do I want and do I don't want? I feel like I always said if I ever found out I got sick that I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that, but I think you don't really know until you're in that spot. I also thought about it, what's going to happen to Bree? What's going to happen to Joy? What happens if I get sick? Not that I pass away, but I get sick and I can't care for them. What happens to that burden that gets put on my husband now that, you just don't know. I also kind of wrote out, how did I take title when I bought this house? I've been in this house almost coming up on 7 years. So you start to forget things when they hand you that Bible of paperwork to sign for your first house. So I need to know how I took title. Do I need to make any changes so the state doesn't take this house? And like I said, you start thinking about a lot of things. I looked at, is my husband on all my bank accounts? If not, is he at least up there as a beneficiary? That's some of the parts that I looked at. But also, we all have our separate accounts. Your husband has an account, you have an account. Do they know the passwords? Will they be able to get into some of these things if something happens when you're in the hospital, you can't talk or something like that? I looked at just all the different stuff that just kind of started coming to my mind that I would need to take care of. I have my residual income at WFG. Is that going to transfer properly? I looked at, so many other things. Does Jeremy have a list of my family's numbers, my mom's numbers, my brother's numbers? All the stuff that comes up that you don't have time to do, because sometimes illness is a sudden. You don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to be told next week. Right now, I'm just waiting to hear back what what actually is going to happen with my life. What, am I truly sick? Do I have cancer? Because like I say, when you hear that, you black out your mind. You just black out everything else. All you hear is carcinoma when someone kind of tells you that. But I know a couple weeks ago, we talked about, several weeks ago, we talked about the 4 questions that come up. And I kind of, like I said, wrote them out to cover them to my own self. Are you covered from a financial storm? You know, what if you live too long? Do you have enough money set aside? Now, I put aside that question for myself. Okay, have I done enough? Have I made enough money to where my husband wouldn't suffer? And I need to look at it for my own self. I also look at, what if I die too soon? Is everything properly prepared? Would my husband be okay? Would the children be okay? It's so many things to think about. Like I say, when you find out these things, and you definitely don't know what to do at that moment, but just try to, keep yourself together. Like I said, what if I get sick? Which, like I say, finding out that I possibly am sick, it's so many questions that come up. So you definitely have to be prepared. And what happens in an emergency? Like I said, when I covered, does he have everybody's phone numbers? It's so much, like I said, and I'll turn this around back to me. It's so much to think about when it's, like I say, teaching this stuff and telling you guys is one thing, but when it comes to you, whole nother ball game. I guess it's, it's surreal, I guess, in a sense, because it's me. This is the stuff that I have to take care of for my own family, because I have no idea what I'm going to be told next week. A little bit scared about it, but like they told me at the hospital, being scared, being anxious is one thing. Doesn't it take over my thoughts, my life? I refuse to let, that happen to me. I refuse to just sit and, dwell on what could be. I'm just going to continue to work and push myself as much as I can, because there's so many people who are not ready, who don't have these things set up that I listed. And it's definitely an emotional roller coaster. Like, man, what's going to happen? What am I going to be told? But if any of you guys have been through anything like this with cancer, or hearing that someone had cancer and you've been one of them, please let me know, kind of how you guys dealt with that. This is going to be super new for me, depending on how this goes. So any good, good wishes, good thoughts, I definitely appreciate them. Still trying to deal with it a little bit, but you know what? I feel like everything happens for a reason, and I'm trying to look at it in a spiritual way. We talk about saving your future, and I feel like I was put in WFG for a reason, and I'm going to utilize that to help other people. But you guys are online, and a couple of you guys watching. What do you suggest when it's someone who, you get told these things? How do you mentally prepare for yourself? How do I know I've done enough to save my kids' future? How do I know I've done enough to, help my husband? It's a lonely place to be in mentally. You just, wow, because it's, as much as people support you, it's just you, But think about what you guys have. Your life could change in a split second from someone telling you something like that, because I know mine did. I looked at stuff totally different after he told me that at the hospital. And I'm, like I say, just mentally getting myself prepared for whatever I'm told next week. You just got to be strong. For anybody else who's going through it and waiting for some type of news like this and any kind of ailment, I'm learning to be strong. I don't have a choice, So, like I say, if you have any good news to share that people have went through this or been told these things and they've been okay. Like I say, you hear people talk about this stuff and you can't relate until it's you. I tell you that. You can't relate till it's you. I tell you that. So I'm so excited that, not excited, I guess that's the wrong word. I'm thankful that I have a husband that supports me, and that I know he has my back through everything. And hey, Anissa, I found out I might have cancer, but I'm not claiming it. Please lift me up in prayer. You just got to be ready for anything. I tell you that. It won't hit home until it's you. I tell you, and until it's one of your family members. I'm just getting myself ready. But like I said, you guys think about the questions that I posted. You know, are you ready? Review them when this video is over. If you're told anything that health-wise, it may not be cancer like I heard, but are you prepared? Do you have your paperwork lined up? Do you have enough life insurance? Do you have your will, living trust set up? Is your house and all these assets that you have going to transfer properly? You know, some people did not do it, and it's something when you work that hard and watch your assets go to the state. So prepare yourself. I know I am. Don't really have much of a choice now, but it's an eye opener. Taking a little walk, take you with me. Y'all see that? Walking in my neighborhood, but sometimes you just gotta clear your mind. You know, I talk about saving your future and all those things, and now I have to save mine. Make sure I've done enough to take care of my own family. So, like I said, if any of you guys have had family members go through this, I would appreciate any kind of good news that they've been fine, and any kind of encouragement, because it's a tough thing to hear. I thought I was a tough cookie, but man, I ain't so tough. I find out. I'm not so tough when I heard that. It shows you. Got the bug attack again this week. It shows you that you got to humble yourself. You got to make sure that you know you're right in every kind of way. Spiritual, friends, family. Got some, things that I want to make sure that are done, because you just don't know. But like I say, think about these questions that I've posted. I listed them, but those 10 powerful questions that could change your life if they're not done the right way. But like I say, I encourage you guys to do your own checkup, a financial checkup on yourself, and make sure everything is in order, because sometimes you don't have enough time. Now I feel like I gotta rush certain things that I may have put off, or say, okay, I'm gonna get this set up. Now I feel like there's that mañana syndrome. I'll get that done tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. I'll tell you guys that. You get what you get, and be thankful that you open your eyes the next day. So, like I say, I'm being attacked by some bugs, but it was pretty not to come out here and kind of reflect and make sure I share, my struggles with you guys. Make sure you know that when I'm telling you guys these things about getting everything in order, I'm not just talking. It could be anybody. So, like I say, review the video. Make sure that your stuff's in order. And if you have anything to share, whether your family member has been through anything like this, finding out that they have some type of cancer, mine just happened to be breast. I would definitely love to read what you guys have to say. But short week next week, or short video I should say. Next week I will get back on schedule. For anything changes, I'll keep you guys posted. Should be finding out next week, so keep me in prayer. But until then, peace and blessings to everybody. And like I say, do take heed to the questions I posted that could happen in your life, because like I say, it